on there.
Oh no.
There we go.
There it is.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to B-Movie Euphoria Live. This is B-Movie Euphoria Quarantine Live. I am Nick, and this is Bruce. And Alex is quarantined in Muskegon. That's why he's not here. But we did watch a movie, and so we're going to tell you about it. And that's what this is all about. And Devo's here too, so he might show up at some point. So, I tried to stay within the realm of streaming, because I know everybody's home and, under covers or, masturbating a lot. Whatever that you need to do, or whatever you're going to do, that's great. But you can't just go outside and, rent a movie or buy a movie. So, we stayed with streaming films. But first, actually we could do this afterward. But, so we went out, and we went to the mall. And the mall was really eerie and really scary. Because there's nobody there, but we got pickle cotton candy, which we're going to try.
Yeah.
Are you ready to try this? So before we get to the movie, we'll do this.
I'm very excited.
Are you ready?
Okay. You cut your nails.
Okay. Smell.
It doesn't... Wait. It does smell like pickles. Like, chips.
Like pickles?
Like pickled chips.
Oh, God.
Maybe I shouldn't have smelled it first.
Oh, my God.
What?
It's like good and...
It is.
And gross at the same time. You can definitely taste pickle in there.
But it's like sweet. But not a sweet pickle.
No, it's not. It's like a kosher pickle. But it's also really sweet. That's really strange. I like it a lot, though.
I know, I can't stop eating it.
Oh, if you get a big chunk, though, you immediately... It's like too much pickle. What do you think?
I can't stop eating it.
Okay, we'll put it away for now. Okay. Might bring it out again. But then we also got this Bob Ross cereal. And if you can see, they're happy little trees. They're happy little accidents, which it's just like a weird amorphous blob. Yeah. And then Almighty Mountains, Guiding Star,
Aww.
and Rainbow Healthy?
Rainbow Hearts.
Rainbow Hearts, because that's what Bob Ross had. And Charming Little Cabins, and then finally, Lovely Little Bushes. So, we got that because FYE was still open. But we went into FYE, and the worker there immediately was like, sorry, I gotta close in like 5 minutes because my boss told me I have to go on break and I have to close the store. So things are weird out there, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's very strange. Everybody's scared or whatever. Who cares? Let's watch a movie. And we already did. So we watched a film called... We watched... Which...
is on Netflix?
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And if you start watching it, don't worry. The sound is working on your player. Right. But, like, through the whole, when they show the production company, which it comes from Blumhouse. So usually when you see the Blumhouse logo, you see the chair floating around, and it's, like, creepy music and everything. There's no noise.
We kept turning it up.
Yeah.
Because we thought, like, there was something wrong with it.
Yes. It's just... But this is sliding you into what the movie is going to be like. So just keep watching, and then you get into it. So, the movie itself is about this woman, I think her name's Maggie.
Maddie.
Maggie,
Maddie,
Maddie, or Mattie.
There were two D's.
Okay, to Maddie. All right, so she is deaf and dumb. I don't think they
She's
say
not dumb.
She's
She's not dumb. She's so she had bacterial meningitis when she was 13.
Yes.
So she lost her hearing as well as her vocal something with
She had vocal paralysis.
vocal paralysis.
So she cannot speak, she can't scream, and she cannot hear. So we get into, it starts off with her making some food and she's putting things together and she doesn't really like how it tastes. And then, yeah. And then it's filmed very well because it gives us all the noises of like chopping up vegetables and stuff like that. And then it like kind of zooms in on her and then all the sound goes out. And then, so it kind of gives you an idea of how she's experiencing things and life in general. And then her neighbor friend comes over and they talk for a little bit. And she's like, you find out basically she's a writer.
Yes.
What were you going to say?
No, the neighbor comes over because she just finished reading her book
Mm-hmm.
that Maddie wrote. And the neighbor's like, how do you get these great stories? And it's kind of like it's beautiful.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's very important.
Sorry, spoilers.
No, this is fine. Oh, Casey. Okay, so we are into it. We're talking about fuck. Okay. Oh, the friend is talking about the book, which is called like The Sign of the Cross or something.
Sure.
Something creepy like
I
that.
didn't read it.
And so I don't think they actually wrote the book for the movie.
No?
Maybe they did.
I don't know.
Maybe the director wrote the entire book. But so when she's talking about how do you, write, how do you do an ending, she basically explains through sign language that there is a voice in her head telling her of all the possible ways this story could end, all the different ways that, the character could come in or a character could leave or something like that. But there's a noise or a voice in her head that sounds a lot like her mother that's telling her the different ways things could turn out. So we have that all down. And then her friend goes away. She goes back to making food. And
No.
Oh, no.
Wait, are we... The food...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So while they're talking, the fire alarm goes off, which is extremely loud and just like this bright light because...
She's deaf, and they need the vibrations of the sound for her to hear it.
Yes.
So that freaks out the neighbor.
And then they turn it off, and then they put that away, and then the neighbor leaves.
And she's cleaning up the mess from the fire.
Yes. And so while she's doing that, completely oblivious to this,
Because she can't hear.
She can't speak, the neighbor rushes up on the kitchen window. She's like, help me, let me in, oh God! And then for the first time, we see our killer.
And he has the sexiest mask.
Yes. It's kind of, it's just like very white and just like stuck on his face like it's glued on there. And it's really creepy. And it's just completely blank and just really, really freaky.
It's got like a little smile on it, so he looks really friendly, except it's not his real face. And also he's like chasing this woman and stabbing her to death on the side of the house, so that's not friendly.
Yeah, so the woman is like banging on the window trying to get in, but Maddie is just cannot hear any of this. So her neighbor is basically murdered out there, or is murdered out there.
Like 5 feet away from her.
Mm-hmm. And then how does she know that the killer is there?
Oh yeah, so after that, she finishes cleaning up, and then she goes onto her laptop and she's working on the story, and she gets a FaceTime from her sister.
Yeah.
And the sister's like, I miss you so much. You're out there in the cabin all alone. who was that? And Maddie's like, what? Who was what? And she's like, there's someone behind you. And Maddie's like, oh, it must just be Bitch, because we forgot to tell you that she has a cat named Bitch.
Oh yeah, there's a cat named Bitch.
And she's so fluffy and great.
Really cute.
But so yeah, Maddie's just chalks it up to like, oh no, that's probably just the cat. I gotta go get the cat though, so I'll see you later. Hang up on her sister, grabs a food dish, shaking it around, can't find her cat.
Mm-mm. And the cat is like, I asked Bruce, I was like, is that cat dead?
That cat's dead.
That cat's dead.
You see a cat, you see a scary movie, cat's dead.
No. So
That's a spoil. Don't tell them yet.
Okay, the cat, let's just say the cat's not dead yet. It may seem like the cat's dead, but don't.
The cat's
Actually,
gone, Zoe.
So my friend James actually recommended this movie. And anyway. So, back to she's on her computer, her ex-boyfriend keeps trying to contact Craig.
Craig tried to call her before.
Yeah, he tries to message her.
And then before her sister calls, she's not drunk, but she does the drunk call where you like call your ex and then hang up really quick.
Yeah.
And then you call him again and you hang up really quick. And then he calls her back and she's just like frustrated. Why is he calling me? I'm really glad that was a really small part of the storyline was this random ex.
And we never see, that's not really a spoiler, but we never see him.
Yeah, Craig's not a thing after this moment.
We just know something happened, they're not together anymore. Whatever. So at some point while she's, on the computer, we see he's inside the house now.
Because she's on the computer and he's sending her pictures of her from her phone.
From her own phone, because he takes her phone
off the kitchen counter.
And she's like, suddenly she gets a message from herself, and she's getting these pictures of her doing stuff, of her like shaking the cat dish.
Walking around the house.
Yeah. Just really freaky shit. And then suddenly there's a picture of her sitting on her computer right there, and then she's like, so the tension in this movie is really good, and I'm really, really happy with it. So a lot of stuff happens. The guy he plays with her throughout this entire movie. He's
a psycho, and I love him.
Yes.
In the worst way. Sorry.
No, it's very... And you were right. It's extremely sexual.
It is.
The sexual tension. Definitely him. He's giving her, like, sex eyes the whole time.
The whole time. You can see it through the mask. Sorry. Not sidetracked. Are we talking through the whole thing?
Yeah, we're just talk through the whole thing.
Okay, so she now knows that there's this guy pursuing her. Mm-hmm. And how does she... He's outside of... Oh. Yeah, he bangs on the window to get her attention. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh shit, no. And she locks the doors one by one while he's just, like, following her at, like, a very soft pace.
Yes.
And he doesn't care. And so she's, like, you start to get the idea that she's smart because she grabs lipstick and she writes him a note in the glass window.
Oh, yeah.
And then she flashes it with a flashlight so he can read it from the outside. Like, she writes it backwards so that when he reads it, it's the right way. And it says, like, my boyfriend's on his way back. I won't tell anyone. I didn't see your face. And he reads it, and he chuckles. And then he just slowly takes the mask off.
So basically...
And he's like...
Yeah.
Here's my face.
Yeah, you're seeing it now.
Can you read my lips? It's so good.
Yeah, it's really creepy. But he just does this throughout. Like, he chases her from one side of the house, and then he's like inside the house. There's an incredible roof chase on the roof.
I love a good roof chase.
And and it's just really extremely well done. And from what I read, so the lead actress in this film and the director, Mike Flanagan, are now married. So they used to go through basically her part and the part of the killer. They would go through it on lunch and then that's how they kind of like fell for each other.
Oh, yeah, they wrote it together.
Mhm.
That's really sweet.
So
her
my
name is Katie Siegel.
yes,
It's her first movie. Really good.
I don't know if it's her first.
It
movie.
said introducing Katie Siegel.
Well, that's really good. So she was great. And then now Mike Flanagan is making all of these Stephen King adaptations. Like he made Doctor Sleep, and he made Gerald's Game, which is very popular. And he also made a movie called Oculus.
He did make Oculus, didn't he?
Do you remember Oculus?
I do remember Oculus.
I only remember the end, and it's just like a giant, like something going into her eye.
Yeah.
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 But that's a spoiler for another movie. But it's very good, and it's got extreme tension in it, and like really fucked up. Just oh god, when her hand is in the thing, God. So there's just a lot of really painful to watch things in this movie.
And I don't like gore. Like, I do not like gore, but I just sat through and watched it because it was so believable and realistic. Like, my body hurts thinking about it.
Oh, that's another thing. He only has... Did you already say he has a crossbow?
Yeah, I didn't say anything about his cool, sick crossbow to go with his sexy mask.
Yes. So he has a crossbow.
We also didn't talk about the fact that, like, when the movie started and they first introduced him, I decided he was, like, a frat boy. Like, he gives off this, like, the killer gives off this super frat boy attitude that just...
Yeah.
We need more of that representation in horror films.
That's really interesting, actually, because...
He's just a good old boy.
So there's... I mean, I'm not going to give away the ending, but basically we covered it. Basically, he's chasing her all over. Other people die. Other people come into the film in various ways and then die. But he's never really explained. Like, his character, his motivation, why he's doing this. He seems like a normal guy. At one point, he acts like a normal human being to another character. And it's just, he's extremely sadistic. He's psychotic, obviously, because he just wants to... He either wants to kill or he wants to just feel the fear coming from this woman.
He likes the hunt.
Yeah. And just the maximum amount of terrifying things that he can get out of this woman. That's what he wants. He wants that shit. That's that real... yeah.
I'm pretty sure he does that in the movie at one point.
What else? I think that's about it. It's really good. So it's on Netflix. You should watch it. And yeah, I think that's about it. But thank you, James, for recommending it. I think you did recommend it. Pretty sure. If you didn't, then thanks anyway. Oh, hi, Keith. Anyway, that's it. Watch Hush on Netflix, because I know you're inside and you're afraid, and maybe you've run out of porn to watch and you just want something that... Maybe don't watch it with your kids, but, you know, watch it with your mom.
Grandma.
Or your grandma. Or your cat. Or just with your thousands of rolls of toilet paper that you have instead of, you know, family or friends. And that's okay.
Some people need that.
Yeah. So, love you. See you real soon. Bye.